Hello and welcome to part 1 of the knitting videos. This is a quick little series that we're going to take slowly because the different steps can definitely get confusing, and it's kind of easier just to work with these in short little bursts so that we can learn each technique fully and thoroughly before moving on. Right now I am using just some knitting needles. These are 13s. You can see on the bottom there we go. And then some chunky yarn just because it's easier to start with, I feel like, and you get faster results, which makes me feel better. I'm going to take the very end of the yarn and we're going to knot it into what kind of looks like a pretzel. So I'm going over like a fish, in, see how that looks like a pretzel? And then I'm going to pull until we just have this loop. I'm going to take only one of the knitting needles and tighten the loop onto the needle. Like so. But I'm going to pull it through a little bit because I don't want to waste too much yarn at the end there. Okay, that's our first stitch. Now, some people will do this differently. I learned this when I was really young, so it might be a easy version for kids. Who knows? I've never done it any other way, but I'm going to hold this needle in my right hand, kind of like this, pretty loose, pretty open. And then I'm going to take this hand and fold it like this, kind of like a number 3, so that I can grab the yarn with my 2 fingers that are here, and they can hold it in place. And then the rest of it, I'm going to use the needle to wrap around my 3 fingers and go under on my palm and pull. That's our second stitch. So one more time. I'm holding onto this. You don't really have to let go. It'll just feed through your fingers. So I'm going to have that 3 hand shape, my yarn and my fingers. I'm going to wrap it all the way around my 3 and then take this needle down and underneath on the palm. It's your third stitch. So you can go back and watch that a few more times if you need to, but I'm just going to add a few. Sometimes I only get 1 finger in there. All right. And some of them will be looser than others. That's okay. This is just the very base of your project with a knit stitch. So from this point, we're going to keep going and then bring the second needle in for a knit and a purl and all those other fabulous stitches that you can work on projects with. If you need to rewatch this, you can definitely rewind, practice. I like to unravel mine and do it a couple times until I'm satisfied. The amount of stitches that you need on that needle is going to depend on your project, so make sure to follow your pattern. When I'm just knitting a basic scarf, which I do a lot just for fun, just for practice, when using a chunkier knit like this, I do about 15 or 16 stitches because your stitches are going to be those loops that we had on here are going to be the width of your scarf. So I like mine to be between 4 and 6 inches. So I usually stick with 16 of these, maybe with a thinner yarn, maybe around 18 or 19 stitches. It just really depends on preference and on your project, but that's for a basic scarf.